control of this right here, bad marketing plan for me to be knowing about it now of this night and tomorrow is the release.
Everybody's going to be talking about Nipsey Hussle's new album, but there's one part of the story nobody's talking about. Nipsey spent his entire career teaching artists about ownership and control. Now, 7 years after his death, a brand new Nipsey album is being released. So here's my question. When an artist is no longer here, who controls the vision? His Victory Lap era represented him finally getting the type of partnership he wanted after years of operating independently. The new album drops August 14th. It's a 15-track collaboration project with Bino. And the official description says Nipsey and Bino have begun bringing the project to life after Victory Lap. It's being released through All Money In and Out the Blue Records under exclusive license to Atlantic Records.
Okay.
Posthumous albums expose one of the biggest questions in the music industry. Does an artist still control their art when they're no longer here? Nipsey spent his whole career trying to eliminate the middleman. He left Epic, built All Money In, developed the Marathon model, and eventually entered his Atlantic partnership after establishing his own leverage.
Hell yes.
When the artist die, who becomes the artist? We seen how Big Pun, Tupac, Biggie, XXX Extortion, Eazy-E, Prodigy, Mac Miller, the list goes on. We seen how their projects was handled after they passed away. Now with this, somebody now has to make the decisions Nipsey once made himself. Like which songs come out, which vocals are finished enough, who get features, which producers get used, so on and so on with making a whole project. Now, how much of prolific is Nipsey's original vision and how much had to be completed around that vision?
That boy is good.
The term you probably want to use is who's in control of his estate. You know what I'm saying? Which is a very good question because, if he would have married Lauren London before his demise, we would know exactly who the estate goes to. You know what I'm saying? It has to be somebody that's, I don't know how that goes. If it's to the kid, left to a lawyer to manage and stuff like that, you know what I mean? That's a lot of questions I would like to know myself, as such as you was asking. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I honestly do believe when it comes to like any payment wise, as going back is like whoever is in control of that estate, they get that. You know what I mean? They receive those royalties. In control of the music and who's laying it out and production wise, management and the time and studio play and all that, that's very interesting because somebody's evidently doing that. You know what I'm saying? The album releases on the 14th, so somebody's working grounds in the back play. And who's doing that? Who's in control? Who?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Good question.
The album's coming out through All Money In / Out the Blue Records, and it's being licensed by Atlantic. So we know that Black Sam has been doing a pretty good job by upholding the Marathon brand and the legacy. And I'm pretty sure he has a lot of say-so of what's going on with this particular project. And I'm pretty sure Black Sam is dealing with Atlantic Records as far as the certain details of how the rollout's going to happen and all the things that happen around that.
Yep.
I knew it was coming out, but the thing is that made me question is basically what's the difference between this posthumous album and everybody else that released the album when they passed away? Because a lot of the times we see in the industry when people pass away, there's like this big old fight for the rights of who owns what, and it gets very messy, you know, like the whole Tupac estate, his mother finally getting a hold of the estate after years of them releasing so many albums. They released like at least like 5-6 albums after Pac passed away,
right
before she got, you know, hands of everything, and then she ended up passing away. So the question is like, who controls all this after the main artist passed away? Because who have the same vision of Nipsey? And the reason why I say I think Black Sam has a lot to do with it, because man, to be honest, personally, I met Nipsey 2 times in my life, and one time I met him with Black Sam, and Black Sam, he was in and out the store moving boxes, just on some business shit or whatever. And Black Sam seemed like a very cool person, but for me to say what I'm saying is the fact that Black Sam is somebody that was basically there with him day to day, very like knowing exactly what's going on or what's going on business wise or future plan wise. And Nipsey definitely, because like shit, with my interaction, I was trying to be down with All Money In, and he was telling me, hey bro, you need to have a big ass KLASIC chain, you know, says all that the All Money In stuff. Like he was really pushing for self, you know what I'm saying, building up yourself and everything. And for them to be working together, I'm pretty sure Black Sam has the same mindset to where they're going to be doing the same thing. So it's just like, at the end of the day, I think even though Atlantic Records have some type of licensing going on with this project, a lot of the stuff is still going to be done solely with the permission of Black Sam.
You're goddamn right.
If Nipsey was still alive today, would Prolific sound exactly like the album that we're getting? Would Nipsey have approved every song, feature, mix cover? Mix and the cover, the rollout, business arrangements attached to the final album? Like, nobody can definitively answer that unless there's documentation showing his intentions. But this is why posthumous albums are different from normal albums. An artist can usually change a song at the last second, remove a feature, scrap an album, change the artwork, renegotiate a deal, or simply decide, I don't want this coming out. But after death, the final veto disappears. So, like, what's your thoughts about that? Do you think that we haven't heard this album yet, but do you think if he had more of an input, when I say him, you know, Nipsey, if Nipsey had more of an input on this album, do you think that we'd have had a different rollout? Because like you said you didn't know anything about it dropping or anything, right?
Right.
So do that mean like they could have put more money into the marketing plan? Because even with me, you know, being in the industry and stuff like that, I heard about it, but it wasn't something that I felt that everybody was talking about until, you know, the week of release. Right.
And yeah, you're probably right on that part right there when it comes to the marketing plan of it. Yeah. Most of the money was probably, you know, maybe it was a budget. Most of the money was put into what was done. You know what I mean? The up and coming artists that he was bringing out, he bringing it out as a collaboration with him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's a lot of people that's at the same time, it works in both ways. He gets his name out there, he gets his credit, he gets the collaboration credit, all of that. Nipsey is featured only with him. You know what I mean? So if there's another feature on there on that album with other LA artists, that makes a different point. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard on one of the records, it got Cardi B on there, and low key, it don't sound like today Cardi B, just to be honest. It kind of sound like, damn, when did they do this? They must have did this like
okay. No, I'm saying like, I mean, like you said, the production part of it, you know, making it sound recent and not dated. You know, because you can still take the lyrics and throw that on some dated music and make it and edit it to make it sound like dated music. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it was done in that fashion, I'm looking forward to it. You feel me? Because that's the evolution of it. I want to hear if you can make him evolve with the lyrics, even though he's not here. You understand what I'm saying? Not with not with just the lyrics, just, you know, cadence, everything, the whole style of it. You know what I mean? I'm even though in doubt without the marketing plan of, you know, not being pushed out, like, you know, you're right, man. This should have been talked about a month ago. You feel me? So we can have the anticipation the week before now. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know who was left up to that. And if you think it was Atlantic Records, and that's who he was dealing with, right?
Yeah.
You would think they would, you know, push up some type of marketing scheme through the internet,
You think
even
it'd
through
been like
shorts.
a higher priority to make sure that this project would be more visible?
That reaching out to podcasters, releasing shorts, you know, any damn thing. They know what to do.
Hey, from the videos that I've seen recently, and it's crazy that I seen one interview with this magazine company. I seen one interview with Jeff Teague and his podcast. So it's like, why would you do an interview on a basketball related podcast, basically, or sports related? And then I actually seen Black Sam speak about this like 2 months ago. He did like a big boy in a radio interview, but they should have been more. Like in the videos that I recently seen of this week that they posted on Nipsey Hussle channel, they did a celebration in New York. You know what I'm saying? That's cool, but you know, I know New Yorkers mess with Nipsey and stuff like that, but why do the release over there and not focus on the release kind of more in Western regions where he's more, you know, popular and everything?
And that's so true right there, because, you know, there's, you know, the podcast world. It gravitates audiences. If you gonna do your game plan, I forgot how you do it, but everybody does it.
Marketing.
Your rollout. There you go. You know who just did a rollout right now? Corrupt and Battle Cat.
It was everywhere.
They hit all of the West Coast podcasts and promoted that album through all of that on the West Coast. And I'm sure that since they didn't go out there on the East, that propaganda then reached over to them. They heard about it. You know what I'm saying? The hearsay. That's enough. That's what I'm saying. Like, if like the marketing plan didn't sound great at all, it was no mention. This is something I think you would probably want to promote. You know what I'm saying? For your brother, if you control the estate. That's my point right there. If you control, like, is he? We don't know. I don't know. Somebody tell me. Anybody in the comments got the answer to that question? Type that in right now and let us know. You know what I mean? But yeah, if he's in control of this right here, bad marketing plan for me to be doing about it now of this night, and tomorrow is the release.
Damn.
Now I got to, before I go to bed, I got to check in. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure I don't miss this, because I got to hear this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got to hear this.
And this is 7 years after the passing of Nipsey, so you would think that they put more into it. And the crazy part about it is, not to sound like I'm not shitting on anything, I'm just putting my perspective out there, but in my opinion, it seemed like more marketing or more people paid attention to the fact that they was releasing or opening, doing a grand opening for Marathon Burger. Nothing wrong with that at all. But
No.
the music is one of the things that kind of got everything started.
Right.
Hey man, so you gonna tell me 94.6 of y'all are not subscribed?
What are y'all doing? Hit that subscribe button and put notifications on all.
Now let's get to the video.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Are you a fan of my brand and want to show your support? Well, I got some awesome merch for you to check out today. I got everything from stylish t-shirts featuring my logo to cozy hoodies that are perfect for those chilly nights. And don't forget about the signature hats and mugs. Whether you heading out to a concert, running errands, or just hanging out with friends, my merch is the perfect way to show your love for the brand. And the best part, I got some exclusive deals and discounts going on right now. So what you waiting for? Head over to the store, grab your favorite item before they gone.
Yo, you now rocking with classic music. Now what I want you to do is hit that like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Yeah, let's get it.